Good afternoon, dear viewers. Now I am in the service module, which is often, in addition to everything else, is our space studio. And today, our crew will tell you how the studio works. You will learn how we shoot our stories and see how we send them back to the Earth.
So you can see it all simply by turning on the television.
Photos and videos from the International Space Station allow us to do the impossible. Look at our planet from a height of several hundred kilometers. At least we can virtually visit the places to where, for many reasons, it is so hard to get for man. Everything that you see in our TV project is shot by the astronauts. Almost every day, the space station crew conducts a chronicle of the extraordinary experiments in the history of the ISS.
It's morning on a day off aboard the International Space Station. Mikhail Kornienko is drinking coffee from the space coffee package. Sergei Volkov is already shooting the Earth through the service module windows.
The crew learned to work with the various photo and video devices on Earth while training during special classes. After all, shooting is an integral part of an orbital expedition. At the station, there is no day without taking a picture. Go on. When can we start? Go on. And do not forget to shoot the hands.
Well, say something for our viewers, please.
Dear friends, so we have started the shooting a few minutes before the undocking. 6, 5, 4, start. Mikhail, copy that? Yeah, I understand, we are ready. Whoa, we are ready. Let's get started. We usually do the shooting together. One astronaut works as an operator, and the other one is in the frame. But there are occasions when we do the shooting alone. And you have already seen such videos more than once.
And the next chapter of a Year in Space TV project.
Then the cosmonaut picks up the camera like this. And goes with it to the module where the shooting is planned. He shoots and comments everything that he shoots and what is happening in the shot at this point. This is a large module. When you fly around it, it is by our standards on the floor. And this is like a cave to make you understand we fly.
It is like being inserted vertically into a subway car.
Sometimes when we put the camera stationary, we push the record button and work in the shot. Here is how this can be done in weightlessness. There is a camera, there is weightlessness, there is a bracket that we use specifically for fixing the camera. We fix the camera, fasten it, and Point the camera to the desired position.
Something like this.
Open.
The camera's monitor, as you can see, rotates in any direction.
And if I work alone, in order to control the shot, I point it to myself. After that, I turn on the camera.
During the filming of a Year in Space TV project, Mikhail Kornienko many times had to work alone, mounting the camera on a special bracket or moving with it around the station. Weightlessness sometimes complicates the shooting. A space cameraman has to have something to hold on to. But when the astronaut shoots while moving, special conditions, on the contrary, help to keep the desired frame.
In weightlessness, you do not need special systems and devices to stabilize the camera. You should not be afraid that the expensive equipment will fall, and you can experiment as you like. That is how the camera floats and rotates on the station. Now it got stuck on the ceiling. In the frame you will probably see me. Now you can see the floor. And now Sergei. And right now I send the camera to him. Here in space, we are trying to shoot according to a strict plan, according to the scenario, as we used to say in Earth.
Because everything we've shot needs to be sent back to Earth. And if there are large amounts, it will take some time for these videos to reach the viewers. Therefore, we shoot only what we need to, and only when we have the time. And now I will show you and tell you how our video reports get to Earth.
After filming, we take the camera. Here there's a small compartment in which a flash memory card is inserted. Here we have our videos. We no longer need the camera. Further on, my working tool is the computer. We insert the card into the card reader, and with the help of a special program, we open the material and send it back to Earth. There is a convention, or rather a condition, I would say.
The video files that we send to the Earth should not exceed 2 megabytes. 2 gigabytes, sorry. Well, this is due to the bandwidth conditions on Earth, so that the channel is not broken. The experts from Earth ask us not to exceed this volume.
Some materials, due to the number and size of the video files, are sent to the Earth on the board of the Soyuz. For example, it was like this with the filming of our spacewalk. They were delivered from the ISS with the crew of Gennady Padalka. But we are trying to send most of the videos to the Mission Control Center directly from the station. Italy, Greece, look, do you see this head there? Now we are heading to the Suez Canal. Africa. Red Sea. Okay. It is the third time Sergei Volkov is on the space station.
And during each flight, the Russian cosmonaut makes a lot of photos.
The crew takes pictures of the Earth on a variety of occasions. But judging by the number of pictures of the cosmos, it is never boring. Of course, when you look at reports from the International Space Station, you have probably noticed that we have all kinds of photo and video equipment, lenses, cameras on the walls. And certainly you have a question. Why do they have so many? Well, first of all, because you have to solve a lot of different tasks. And each task, of course, sometimes requires a different lens. That is, if we take pictures of the Earth, then of course we need a small lens, right? With the fisheye type, we do not particularly take anything. Maybe it will be just a beautiful picture of the horizon or some part of our Earth. Therefore, to work on the experiments that are related to the environment, those are basically the experiments with the study of the oceans or mountains. We use, of course, cameras with large lenses that have a focal length of 400 meters, 400 millimeters, 600, 800. This camera, which is flying around me with the converter, it is of 1,200 millimeters. This gives enough good shots that our specialists can then use to analyze the situation. What is happening in our atmosphere or on the Earth during a space flight? Like many modern explorers of the cosmos, Sergei has a page in social networks. He regularly uploads really fascinating, in every sense, unearthly pictures. We offer you to look at our planet through the eyes of astronauts. These images, many of which you will want to call paintings, were taken from space over the most different parts of the Earth.
Among them, there are photos taken by Sergei Volkov. Of course, we use cameras also for filming life on the station. And for this, of course, we use smaller lenses, right? Those are of 800 and 400 millimeters. We take pictures of the surface of the station from the windows. We have several experiments that we control from the station. Well, and we also picture our everyday life at the station. Again, in order to be able to share photos with you. Others' lenses can be used to make photo reports. They are applicable for the macro photography or for photographing the equipment or the results of our work. We install new equipment, conduct some experiments, and for that, the director of the experiment or the organization that ordered it, this equipment, they need to know how we installed it, if it is properly connected, in case we suddenly begin having problems. We can make sure that the circuit is assembled correctly and everything is connected well.
And of course, sometimes we shoot ourselves, flying over some beautiful places or places with which we are connected somehow, or just places we like, we of course grab the camera and try to shoot it. Just now we are flying over something interesting. We are flying over Africa. It is a very interesting continent, although it seems that the Sahara Desert occupies the main part, but there are a lot of jungles. Sometimes there are clouds. And of course, the camera is heavy and massive, so it is not that hard to stabilize it. I mean, you are holding it, and the main problem is to find something to hold it.
You see, it is necessary to grab hold of something next to the window. Then you can engage your feet, or you can, using the weightlessness, even hold on to the ceiling, using the rail to the ceiling. I am now stable so that there is no blurring. I am watching the coastline, the Indian Ocean. The islands are very beautiful, and I take photos which are good enough sometimes, even to show to specialists. In addition to these small windows, there is a wonderful window. It is larger and has a stronger and better glass. And now I want to show you this window, which is under our panel. Everything in the station should be compact. So now I will open it and show you a few shots. The window is right under the space station stimulator, which we described in detail in one of the chapters of our TV project. This is another example of the most efficient use of space on the space station. Unlike other windows, which are here on the floor or in the first plane, that are almost always open, this large window is made of quartz glass, so we certainly take care of it. It has a cover on this side, on the inside, and on the outside, and the quartz glass transmits ultraviolet light. So if we could turn the station, we could even use it to get a little tan. Well, seriously, of course, a glass window allows us to perform fairly complex optical experiments. And in addition to the use of photographic equipment to take pictures, we use video equipment, a variety of spectroscopic instruments that allow us, once again, to analyze the processes that occur in the atmosphere. Now I invite you to join me to look through the window at the Earth's surface. And now, as we fly over the Indian Ocean, it is a little cloudy, but nevertheless, I think it will still be interesting. We use the windows not only for the work. They allow you at any time to see the Earth and feel the connection with your home, which is so far away. In the context of a long expedition, it is very important. Mikhail Kornienko, who has already spent more than 10 months at the station, lives in a cabin without a window. And certainly stronger than all the other crew members, he feels this important element of psychological relief, a simple opportunity to look at his home planet.
Soon, we will describe in detail how the cosmonauts cope with the psychological pressure, which is a common problem for everyone in space. Meantime, we offer you to see a new column we made together with the space station crew. Answers from Space.
Dear viewers, we receive many questions that you would like to know the answers to. They forwarded them here, and I am now ready to satisfy your curiosity, well, as much as I can. So, the first question is, how many calories a day should an astronaut consume given the lack of gravity and reduced physical activity than when on Earth? Well, I do not quite agree with the statement about physical activity. We sometimes exert ourselves even more here, especially considering the psychological stress, which sometimes takes more energy than physical exertion.
But nevertheless, there is a zero gravity, and probably all the same, physically, we spend less calories, and our ration is calculated at the rate of around 2,900 calories per day. Perhaps, after all, it is an individual thing, and each person requires a different amount of calories. Someone may gain weight, and you will ask, how is it possible here? But exercises help us to fight it. And, well, a reasonable consumption of products. Actually, we have products with a certain margin, and therefore a certain amount of it is always left. We have a so-called 16-day cycle. This 4 containers of food, and of course, we do not eat them all. Thus, there is some kind of, well, a buffer stock for us. I personally need much less food here than on Earth. Well, I will repeat, it is an individual thing. What would you like to eat the most now, after so many days in space? You know, if I start to read out the entire list, probably it will take a lot of time. I would like to eat fried potatoes with onions and mushrooms. I want scrambled eggs, normal ones, fried eggs on a frying pan, well, or an omelet. I would like to eat cucumbers, both fresh and pickled, which my wife makes. Some are cucumbers, but pickled not with the vinegar, but with the red currant. Those are very good cucumbers, and I was promised that they deliver them to me after landing. Well, with this, we will probably finish discussing my gastronomic predilections. Next question. Why do astronauts always wear white socks? Oh, that's an interesting question, of course, because they deliver them here, white socks. Well, perhaps after all, it somehow aesthetically looks good. Although we have black socks as well, they are just fewer. But I personally like the white socks. Since we do not wear shoes here and do not walk on the floor, these socks, they remain white, clean. Another question, which we received. What do you most often dream of in space? Have your dreams changed over the flight? We dream of the Earth. I occasionally dream of being released from the station for a weekend down on Earth, with the expectation that on Monday, I will be back here. Such a leave, like for a soldier. Of course, it's a pipe dream. That was the dream. The dreams are really not much different. Sometimes it is difficult to remember your dreams. We have the same dreams as on Earth, and they are not much different. Thank you.